What? Palatka, all I got to tell you is Bass loves you. Overcast skies, chance of storms, but you guys show up day after day. And who watched Bassmaster live today? We are going to have, it's hard to even say this after yesterday's weigh-in, but we are going to have an even crazier weigh-in today. Unbelievable things happen out there in the water. But before we go any further, I want to bring out the man that weighs all the fish. I need you to get real, real loud for my partner in crime, Trip Weldon. Trip, you know, we were talking backstage. We're both tournament junkies, you know, obsessed with. If we weren't working for Bass, we'd be sitting right there or watching this. But I got to be honest, there's this, you know, you go to Elite Series events, you get excited. Go to the Classic, it's even more exciting. But this event has a classic feel to it.
It does. First of all, the phenomenal crowd here in Palatka. They never let us down, and thank you guys. But Dave's right. If we weren't up here, we'd probably be right out there with you because we're tournament junkies. I joined Bass in the early 70s. And yesterday we had rumors of Cliff Perch's big catch. But we don't ever go look in the bags because we really don't know. And the way that unfolded, I've been doing this a long, long time, and it was truly one of the most remarkable weigh-ins I've ever been through. As I said, we had 3 anglers in a row. Between the 3 of them, we weighed 92 pounds of fish, 15 bass, 92 pounds right here on these scales.
Unbelievable. And the unbelievable part is the hardest working guy is Trip. He lifted all those. Let's hear it for Trip. I don't know how many hundreds or thousands of pounds of bass you lifted this week, but it was a workout.
It was, but my job's easy, Dave. I appreciate that. But there's so many people to thank here. You know, our Putnam County Chamber of Commerce, Julie and Dana, every year, they're just phenomenal hosts. David Driggers, I see David right back here, Florida Bass Nation, all of our volunteers. They've been fantastic. I want to thank law enforcement and just everybody in Putnam County and around Palatka. You've been phenomenal hosts this week. Can't wait to come back.
Come every year. Trust me, we would love to come here every year because it's really, I mean, and think about this. When you go to a location so many times, covering an event, you go to a fresh location, it's almost easier to do it because you're teaching people about new stuff and you're learning it yourself. But this, every time we come here, it seems to get better and better, which just shows the job that the Florida Wildlife does.
Well, it does, and, you know, we heard rumors the fishermen are always sandbaggers, but when you put the best anglers in the world on a body of water like this, and with a hurricane, I know it really destroyed some habitat and in the high water and everything, but what we've seen this week is just astonishing. I mean, it doesn't rival anything like we've done here in the past, I don't believe, that I can remember. Falcon Lake on the Mexico-U.S. border was great. We saw a 12-pounder down there years ago, but I see Mr. Cruz here, that 11.2 we weighed John Cruz first in line over here the other day. His all-time bass for his personal best. I don't know that we've seen that, and we've had a couple of 10s, you know, just 9 after 9 after 9, 8 after 8 after 8. It's just really remarkable what this fishery is, and Florida Fish and Wildlife, they do a great job, and tournament anglers, I want to thank them. You know, we've had a lot of fish come through here, and we've lost less than I can count on this hand. So they've done a great job, and it all starts with them.
We are just about ready to weigh some fish, but you see there's cameras all around here. Obviously going to be shooting this entire weigh-in. We need you guys to make lots and lots of noise. You can do that for me, right? Okay, before we do that, we always call ourselves a Bass family. You know, we spend so much time in the road. We spend time away from our families, but we've got our family on the road. And unfortunately this week, a member of our family is not here with us. And many of you guys love him. You know, he has painted this sport through the lens of a camera since the Elite Series started, and that's James Overstreet, a very close friend to all of us. And he's battling some things in the hospital right now. He'll be back with us soon enough. But rather than taking a moment and thinking about him and that sort of stuff, the best way, I know he's watching right now because he is a fishing freak. I need you to get really loud for my friend James Overstreet. That means a lot to all of us here at Bass, and I know it means a lot to J.O., and on behalf of all of us, get well soon, buddy, and we'll see you out here. But we are ready to start a weigh-in, and you guys just got warmed up. I need 30 seconds of absolute insanity. Do you think you can do it? Some people don't sound convinced. Some people don't sound convinced, Trip. Can you do it? All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. You're pretty good, I got to be honest. But this isn't a regular event. I mean, we have a chance of breaking the century mark here, which is 100 pounds. It's never happened here in Palatka, Florida. So it's a crazy throw. Who came for our watch party? Who was watching? The folks sitting back there in the academy seats, can you stand up, sir, for one second? Whoever you think I'm talking to, any of you sitting in those seats, it's fine. Right over here. Lift up one of those chairs. We at Bass and Academy loves you guys so much. If you sat in those chairs, you came early, you showed the true heroes of this sport is our fans. You take those chairs home with you. How about that? You're getting a chair. You're getting a chair. I'm like a chunky, well, she's chunky too, but kind of like a, sorry, Oprah. All right, we are just about ready to weigh some fish. One more time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are you ready? The first Bassmaster Elite Series event of the 2019 season, the Power Pole Bassmaster Elite at the St. Johns River. Are you ready? Let's get ready to weigh in.
And he is already rolling up here. Let's play the music. Who we got first? Left the dock in 10th spot this morning, weighing the biggest bass of the tournament on day number 1. Started the day with 58 pounds and 10 ounces. John Cruz at 58 pounds, 10 ounces, looking for 17.4, 31 pounds and an ounce. 31.1. And the cruise missile has 89 pounds, 11 ounces, and he is your brand new leader. Big bass, a big stage, and big dreams. We're going to weigh this for Phoenix Boat. Hold on. It's a lot of stuff to deal with right now.
We're good.
All right, 8 pounds, 11 ounces. You're leading Phoenix Boats Big Bass. You are leading this tournament. You went out in 10th position. You had a huge mountain to climb, but boy, you threw down a bomb, 31 pounds.
I tell you, I was so far behind. I was not the dark horse. I was a miniature horse. Going into today, I was 6 pounds behind ninth, 5 pounds or something. So I figured if I'm going to go out here and fish on Sunday, I might as well make it worth my while and just go ahead and do it right. And it seemed like everywhere I'd stop, I'd catch a big one, go somewhere else, catch another big one, and then on the last stop on the way in, I caught a 5 something, and just a magical day. Really enjoyed it. Had a good time with my cameraman. I hope we were able to get some of that on live But man, there's just an amazing feeling about putting that monster sacrifice fish on the scales. It's magical.
It's been a magical week here, John, and what a start to the 2019 Elite Series.
It really is. I talked yesterday about how important the power poles are, and they really are. But the Elite Series is more than one event. This is just a show off of an amazing fishery and an amazing group of anglers. And we're going to go from using power poles the entire time to using our Lowrance units the entire time next week. So I'm looking forward to that. But man, today I settled down with one bait that caught 4 of the 5 fish that I weighed in today. It was a missile bait, 48. It's a straight 4.8-inch worm. Just rigged it, throwing it on a 20-pound sunline shooter fluorocarbon, 7.5-foot casting flipping rod, and I would just throw it out there around any kind of reeds, pencil reeds, flat reeds. I caught a couple. That was most of what it was around, but I have to throw that bait in there and let it sit, and then when I go to move it, that's when the magic would happen. And wow.
It was awesome to watch, and it's not over for you. Have a seat in our hot seat. The longer you stay there, the more money you make. Who do we got next? It's his 3rd season on the Bassmaster Elite Series. He was the day 1 leader in this event from Gonzales, Louisiana. Get loud for Robbie Dodson. Started today with 63 pounds, 11 ounces, 2 fish for 5 pounds, 5 ounces. Going to finish with 69 pounds even and move into 5th place. But let's celebrate a great performance. I know it's not the way you wanted this all to end, Robbie, but, man, just to be in the top 10 in this event that I can't say how historic it's been here this week. Incredible. Going to leave here probably scratching your head. I mean, it's just, I said it yesterday. I mean, we have respectful bags, and this tournament was disrespectful.
I tell you, it's hard to believe you can go out there and catch 25 pounds one day, go back out there the next day and catch 5 pounds. I could be the most hard-headed fisherman out there, but it's not my fault, it's my daddy's fault. I can't complain. I had a great week. People around here were great. We stayed at Georgia Boys Fish Camp. That's the place to go if you come down here. Check them out. Fishing is awesome. There are some big fish down here.
Any particular baits that were key, or did you go through a bunch of different baits?
Yeah, I was throwing a missile tomahawk and a Delta lure spinnerbait. The spinnerbait was a purple shad color.
Worked out pretty good for you. A couple of 25-pound bags this week. Want to congratulate you on a great finish and a great start to the 2019 Elite Series. I know who we got next. Let's get him rolling. He is truly a living legend. Won this tournament the last time we were here. His 15th win. He is a 32-time Classic qualifier. Hold on. He's bagging them up. He's got a giant load of fish there. And Tripp, when he's getting ready out there, tell me this. He was the oldest angler ever to win the last time. And he's going to pad his record here this time if we were to pull it off.
Well, if you watch Bass Track and watch Live, we have 2 old grizzly veterans. But Rick, much older than Mark Menendez, no disrespect, because he's truly a phenomenal angler. I talked about joining Bass in the early or mid 70s. This guy was my hero. He's one of the reasons I joined Bass. And what he's done this week and what he did last time we were here is really remarkable. And it shows, as he'll get up here and tell you, that don't ever limit yourself. You always have that capability, whether you're 5 years old or 90 years old. He's truly a legend that this sport may never see again.
Well, he's going to make his way up here, bagging his fish here, ladies and gentlemen, and truly an inspiration both on and off the water, not just to be competing on the Bassmaster Elite Series, but to be winning on the Bassmaster Elite Series, showing that age is no limit. Crank that music. He's making his way down the aisle now. 32-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier. 4 of those he has won. He took his 15th Bassmaster win the last time we were in Palatka, Florida. From Ava, Missouri, the legendary Mr. Rick Clunn. Started the day with 64 pounds even, looking for 25-12. 34 pounds, 14 ounces. 34-14 for Rick Clunn. The ageless one gets it done with 98 pounds and 14 ounces. You notice, Trip, always gives me the small one. True. $98 pounds and 14 ounces for 4 days of bass fishing on the St. Johns River, ladies and gentlemen. $9 pounds, 14 ounces takes over Phoenix Boats Big Bass for the day. Yeah. 914 and a 911, both fish just under 10 pounds. And Rick, it's been pretty customary for people to see you do things that some people think might be impossible, but what did you do? I mean, incredible. I mean, I'm at a loss for words.
Well, the biggest bass I ever caught in Florida was at the Bassmaster Classic. It weighed 10-12. It's the second biggest ever caught in the Bassmaster Classic. So the day with this wind and stuff, I said I'm going to make the spinnerbait work. And it worked. And I actually won the big ones. I missed the spinnerbait and I threw back on the worm and caught him. And I missed a couple doing that. I think they were on bed. But the rest of the days I was catching 1 or 2 on a spinnerbait, but they'd all be over 5 pounds when I get a bite on the spinnerbait, so I knew it was producing a good grade fish. And but most of the other fish, the other 3 days, came on the worm. 1 or 2 would come on the spinnerbait. Today, all but the one that I missed on the spinnerbait came on the worm.
Rick, if you're able to pull this off, to win back-to-back, back-to-back events, separated by 3 years, obviously, but back-to-back Elite Series trips here, you know how much you have motivated, an entire country last time. I mean, even you have got to be thinking, wow.
Well, one thing I want to say is I really, really appreciate all the Florida fishermen out there and how far they stayed off. I thank you all, appreciate that, and all the other anglers as well. And again, y'all have been a tremendous support. You were the last time, you are this time, and all we can do is just wait and see what happens. I told you this morning I need to catch a 12 and a 10, and then I might have 10. Well, I didn't get to 12, but I almost got to 10. Yeah.
You came pretty close, and it's going to be hard to take it away from you. With that, we say goodbye to John Cruz, and we say hello to your brand new leader, Rick Clunn. John, before you leave, no angler likes getting kicked out of the hot seat, but I looked over at you, and you were smiling from ear to ear.
This man is a legend over here. As Trep did, I grew up watching Rick, and now I've been able to compete against Rick for over 15 years, and now I get to call him a friend, and I could not be more honored for somebody to lay a monster sack on the scales to knock me off. Good job.
Let's hear it for John Cruz. It's your new leader, Rick Clunn. Unbelievable. All right, let's keep them rolling. Who do we got next? He's a 10-time Forest Wood Cup qualifier, 5-time TTBC qualifier, and a 2-time FLW Tour champion. His first Elite Series event, Scott Canterbury. 66 pounds and 3 ounces start today. 14.9 gives him 80 pounds and 12 ounces. He moves into third place. Give him a little love, making the top 10 at his first Elite Series event. Scott, 80 pounds, 12 ounces, and what a phenomenal last few days you had. I mean, to start this tournament with 10 pounds, and as you said, you know, I was just trying to survive the next day. Boy, you did a lot more than survive.
You know, I did. It was amazing 2 days for sure. You know, I just had a stretch that was probably, I caught most of my fish out of about a 200-yard stretch of lily pads, and I guess I just caught them all. I stayed there till about 12 o'clock today, and I just couldn't get them going. I never got a big bite or nothing, so, you know, I ended up running around trying some other stuff. I caught some big ones, some 4 to 5 pound fish in some canals. I did that some. I lost one pretty good one, but, you know, it was awesome. This is an awesome crowd. This is unbelievable. Look at the people up here on top of the building back here. This is unbelievable. I'm glad I got to experience this in my first tournament, for sure. This place is a real special place. Y'all take care of it. The people here, I mean, all the way, everybody. I mean, we stayed at the Georgia Boys Fish Camp, and those people are phenomenal. The whole town of Palatka, I can't wait to get back down here. It's my first time, and I love it. Can't wait to get back. Wish I had some history on this lake, but, you know, I just went by the seat of my pants this week, and it worked out really well. It's a good start to the year. Be headed up to another one to start practicing tomorrow heading on there. So it's going to be a long evening, long day tomorrow, so we're going to see who wins this thing. We couldn't do it without all our sponsors, and we couldn't do it without the fans, like I said yesterday. So, you know, just everybody that supports us and support the ones that support us, for sure.
What were the key baits this week? Any ones that...
Yeah, I mean, I caught most of my fish flipping it's a salt lick, which is a net bait stick worm. It's just like a Cinco, other baits like that. I even went to a 6-inch bait that we don't make, but I just went to another 6-inch stick worm yesterday, and I ended up catching a few bigger fish. Caught those topwater fish on a twin spin from Bagley. It's just like a devil's horse or something. It's a little bit bigger, easier to cast. And I caught 1 or 2 on a banger lure early in the week, but you know, that's pretty much it. It's just Florida fishing, and I think my fish, they petered out on me a little bit, but I needed some sun and not so much wind, and maybe I could have made it happen, but it's been an awesome week. Like I said, I just hope to be on this stage a lot this year, or in the future too.
Does it make it a little easier when you see Rick Clunn throw down 30?
It makes it a lot easier, you know. Just to be fishing with a legend like Rick, it's unbelievable. Getting to know him a little bit more this week, so you know, that was an awesome bag. That was unbelievable. So I caught a 30-pound bag yesterday. I don't know how many 30-pound bags have been weighed in this week, but this is probably one of the most phenomenal weigh-ins that I've ever been to all week long, for sure. I only had 10 pounds the first day, and I'm sitting here on Sunday, so that proves what this lake's got in it.
And I'm excited to have you on the Elite Series all year long. Let's hear it for him. What a finish for his first Elite Series event. Let's roll through our next angler. It's his very first Elite Series event, but he showed early on he is here to stay. A Lake Fork legend, and his catch became legend yesterday. Several of his catches will go down in Bassmaster history. From Longview, Texas, get loud for Lee Livesey. 68 pounds and an ounce to start the day. 5 fish, 20 pounds and 9 ounces. He moves into third place with 88 pounds and 10 ounces. Digging deep in that Berkeley weighing bag. Still digging deep in that Berkeley weighing bag. Let's hear it for Cedar Yamaha Pro Lee Livesey. 88 pounds and 10 ounces, an incredible start to your Elite Series career. And I know you went out there this morning with one goal in mind, and that was to take this title. But, dude, I think you're going to have a shot at a few more down the road.
Oh, that's right. I'm just ready to get on to the next one now, you know. You can't beat being out there and watching a legend like Rick Clunn. I saw him catch a giant. I don't know how big it was. He had 34 pounds. It was probably a 10-pounder. It was 8 or 9 pounds. But just being around, that's awesome, you know.
First Elite Series event, was there any moments you'd look back and say, I zigged where I should have zagged, or is there anything, you know, any key baits you want to talk about?
Today I got in the area early, you know, it wasn't too windy, and I caught 2 big ones. And then I got it in my head that I could go back there and get another big one, but that wind had picked up so much it got it dirty, and I just spent too much time in there where that wind was blowing. But I caught most of my fish on just a 5-inch soft stick bait and a weedless chatterbait by Finch Nasty called a glade blade. Throwing that in the dollar pads and then throwing the stick bait in the reeds.
You were probably one of the most fun anglers to watch all week long. A fan favorite for sure.
Oh, yeah, man, we had a good time today. I don't know where Tom is, but we got a little wild out there. I don't know if it got caught on camera or not, but there's always something every day.
There definitely is. I think I might call you Lively Livesey because it is always lively on your boat.
Oh, yeah. I want to thank everybody for coming out. This is a great crowd. Y'all are awesome. Everybody here in Platte is awesome. Everybody. But appreciate y'all coming out. Appreciate everybody back at home and all over the country that are watching me and everybody else here. You know, Bass put on a show this week. It's amazing. Thank all my sponsors. I mean, they all know who they are. They're awesome. They support me. I just want to thank everybody that's watching. Bass put on a show. It's amazing. Thanks, guys.
Well, you are part of that show, and we look forward to seeing our next event down the road.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready. I'll see y'all all at Lanier. Keep watching.
All right. We will see you there.
Rick, you're still leading. You said you needed a 12-pounder. You might not have needed that 12-pounder. Okay. Okay. Should I bring the next guy?
Oh, yeah, bring him on.
Okay. Let's roll through. He weighed a giant bag of fishing yesterday. He's a 3-time U.S. Open champion. He's made every single Chatco Bassmaster Classic to join the Bassmaster Elite Series. From Payson, Arizona, he has got a bag dragger once again here today. From Payson, Arizona, get loud for Clifford Perch. The Golden Ram starts today with 16 pounds and 9 ounces. 5 fish at deck today, looking for 30 pounds, 6 ounces, take the lead, 19 8. Gives him 88 pounds and an ounce, puts him in 4th place currently. We'll let him dig deep in those purple land back 6 away for Clifford Perch. Pounds and an ounce, puts in 4th place, and wow, what a magical week we had here on the Bassmaster Elite Series.
Yeah, you know, it was really fun. Obviously, yesterday was just crazy. And sounds like a couple guys had that kind of day today. I just couldn't get on I needed one of those little 15-minute stretches where you get 3 bites, and I never ran into them. I just got a bite here and there all day, and got those 2 giants, and really little group of them like yesterday. So, you know, it was a great time. I really enjoyed it. I love when we're on bodies of water where you can catch a fish like that. You know, those are pretty special. That's you know, catch that many big ones. I had a 10-4 on day 2, and that, you know, we just don't get to do that very often. So, you know, we were blessed with really good weather this week, and you know, until now, of course, the rain, but it was just so fun that it warmed up, and the fish were biting, and man, what a blessing. I threw a number of things because you know, the phases kind of flipped back and forth all week, and I caught my big bag yesterday on a bladed jig, and
The 10-4 I sight fished on day 2, and the first 2 days I caught a whole bunch of them on a little big bite bait finesse worm. It just works really good when they pull up the spawn, and they're real finicky. Caught those on a little wacky worm with a Hayabusa wacky hook, and today I caught a great big one on top water. So it's just a lot of different things going on, and it was a fun week. It's a fun week. I hope we get to come back, and man, I wish we had one down here every year. This is a great crowd, and yeah, thank you guys for coming, and boy, this is a great crowd in the rain, but I do want to thank the folks that helped me out. I ran like 100 miles a day this week with a Suzuki and Phoenix, and I couldn't be happier to be running with those guys. It's just phenomenal equipment. I'm so comfortable running it. I just feel good about the reliability, the speed, everything about it. I just had a blast running up and down that river this week, and also the guys at Dixie Tech, they make my tires. I'm about to put another 10 hours on those tires on top of the 30 some that get over here. I'm from Arizona, so it's a long ways across the country, and they keep me in great tires. So if you're an outdoorsman, the Dixie Tech you get a ton of miles out of them, and 55 degrees and 50 degrees.
Congrats on a great event. Let's get them rolling now. It's time for a cool breeze from the north. He grew up in a country where most folks hope they become NHL players. He has won gold the whole time along. They told him he couldn't do it, and he's proven that nobody can tell you can't do something. Let's welcome one of our Canadians in his first Elite Series event from Cavan, Ontario, Canada, Tory Dobson. 68 pounds and 13 ounces to start the day. He's got 5 fish and a country backing him. 16 pounds and 9 ounces gives him 85 pounds and 6 ounces. Not going to take the title this week, but what a start to his Elite Series career. 16.9 gives you 85 pounds and 6 ounces, and wow, I mean, I know how driven you and your brother are. You never leave the dock with a goal other than to win, but you got to be happy with the way your Elite Series career started. What a week.
Yeah, it was an incredible week to come here and catch bass, 10-pounders, 9-pounders everywhere. It's just crazy, and to be here in the town of Palatka and see all these people, I mean, this is probably the biggest crowd that I've ever been to, for one of these tournaments, so that's pretty awesome. And, I want to thank you guys. You guys put on an excellent show. This has been pretty incredible, so I'm looking forward to next week to getting out to Lanier and doing this all over again, trying to be up here on day 4, and, we're going to get her going. I got to thank all my sponsors. I wouldn't be able to do it without them, and I got to thank the family as well. They all flew in today to come watch Chris and I, so thanks to them, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Any key baits this week? Or were you just young fishing for a bunch of different baits?
No, I mainly flipped the Cinco, threw a speed worm around a bit, spinner bait, chatter bait, but for the most part I was just flipping holes and reeds, and they were spawning in them, and that's how I was catching my big ones.
Okay, one last question before you leave. I know you wanted this title. It's got to make it a little easier when you see a guy like Rick Clunn drop a monster sack like that.
Absolutely. I mean, to see anyone weigh a sack like that is incredible, and for Rick to do it again, I mean, it's just incredible. So congratulations on that bag, and job well done.
Look forward to seeing you next week. Let's hear it for Tory Dobson. You'll be hearing a lot from him in the future. Let's get them going. Oh, he's coming. He's loading them up. The last dude that took a little while to load him had a giant bag. He is truly one of the most inspirational anglers, both on and off the water. He's a 3-time Bassmaster winner. He has been to 5 Geico Bassmaster Classics. From Paducah, Kentucky, Mark Menendez. Started today with 69 pounds and 5 ounces. He needs 29 pounds and 10 ounces. 25, 12. Moves into second place with 95 pounds and an ounce. Let's celebrate an incredible effort by Mark Menendez. Mark, I know you wanted to take this title, but, I mean, I got to say, in a new look Elite Series, you know, with all these young guns, everybody talking about, you and Rick Clunn put in a show today.
It was a great show. There's a lot of gray hair up here, isn't there, Rick? No, this is the site of my very first professional tournament in 1987. Great homecoming. I tell you what, I stayed with the great folks at the Georgia Boys this week. They're a great bunch of people. I want to say one word to a great friend of ours, Lee Robertson, Skeeter Lee, Daddy. Those 2 big ones for you. So you keep fighting, Lee. We love you. It's been a great week. You know, it's funny. I looked over my shoulder when I got started the other day and first day of the tournament. And I see this gentleman right over there on the opposite side of the bank from me. And I go up through there, I catch me a couple awful nice ones, a 913, and I thought, wow, that's good. I was not getting a lot of bites to get this kind of weight during the week, and I was getting between 6 and 10 bites a day, David. That's all I was getting. I was grinding it out. I had figured out where those pre-spawn fish were sitting, a little further offshore on isolated pilings and old junky-looking stuff out there, and I weighed 4 of my big ones in there like that. Yesterday was the best spinnerbait bite I've had in forever. It was old school, old time, and I knew Rick would have a big bag too like it, but I couldn't get him to bite that today, so I went back to my rage crawl, caught a few, and then I ended up putting a big old 10-inch worm on there and caught my good one. So a great week, a great start. I'm thrilled to death. The great crew out here. It's good to see bass fishing fans in one of the best places to fish in the world, the St. Johns River. I challenge all of you all to be stewards of this river and take great care of it. I had a great week this week. My Garmin live scope actually made me look around to find these isolated pilings, and I caught a fish with one of the bigger ones there today while I was showing my cameraman live scope. It's like cheating, guys. I'm telling you, I could see pilings that sat out by themselves, and I would just slow down and fish those, and that's how I got a lot of my bites. Running down in the boat race this morning was an awful lot of fun. The Yamaha skier running right there with everybody cutting corners. But I'm grateful for everybody that I work with. I'm grateful for Bass. I'm grateful to be on the best series that there ever was.
And we're grateful for Mark Menendez.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mark talked about Lee Robertson, you know, a member of our service crew, and we say it all the time. They're truly the unsung heroes of our sport. They keep these guys on the water.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the fans see us, they see the anglers, and they see all of our photographers. What they don't see are those service crews over here taking care of these anglers. Lee Robertson, Cedar Yamaha, was with us for years and years, a great friend to all of us. he as well having health issues. It's been going on for about a couple of years now, and so our thoughts and prayers are with him. We love you, Lee, and those two fish. I know Mark loves you as well.
Let's hear it for him. Send him out some love. Well, here we go. Let's roll through our next angler. You want to talk about opposites. By the time Rick Clunn won his first classic, this angler, well, his parents probably weren't even dating, let's be honest. He's a former collegiate champion from South Carolina. Get loud for Elite Series rookie Patrick Walters.
How about it?
Started today with 70 pounds and 5 ounces. Needs a monster bag. Looking for 28.10. 21 pounds and 9 ounces. Gives him 91 pounds and 14 ounces. He moves into third place currently in his very first Elite Series event. Get loud for Patrick Walters. Big bass, big stage, big streams. Patrick, you are what you've done here, honestly, is incredible. That one right there, 9 pounds, 3 ounces, not going to take over Phoenix Boat's big bass for the day, but I'm sure it was fun to catch. But what you did here really is phenomenal. You know, we've seen many different Elite Series rookies come. You were one of the most talked about rookies, and one of the hardest things for a rookie is you get off to a rough start. Well, nobody's going to wonder if the talk was worth it now.
Well, you know, when there's that much talk about it, all you got to do is you got to go back it up. And, man, I was really looking forward to this tournament about a month ago and came out here for practice, and then I was dreading it. First day I had 3 bites and then 5 bites and then 2 bites the last day of practice. And if somebody would have told me, Patrick, we'll give you 12 pounds a day every day for the tournament, I'd have took it in a heartbeat. And that's how tough it was. But every day the bite changed, and, man, the good Lord blessed me. My family came here. All my friends came, surprised me. It was I'm telling you, when I dreamed about my first Elite Series tournament, I couldn't have scripted it this good. And thanks to this huge crowd here on Sunday, the final day of the Bassmaster Elite Series, it was a good day. I'm just happy to be here no matter what happens.
Any key baits, you know, that really helped you out this week?
Well, I found all the fish. I was doing a Rapala X-Wrap.
Prop bait, that's how I'd find them. And then once I'd locate them, I mainly flipped all week. I was flipping a Zoom fluke stick, black and blue and watermelon red, and also a Magnum finesse worm, June bug as well. Just flipping isolated reeds and buggy whips and just holding on.
It was awesome to watch, and I can't wait to watch you all year long on the Bassmaster Elite Series. Let's hear it for Patrick Walters. Yeah. All right. Before we bring through our final angler of the weigh-in, you know what it's time for? I think it's time for a Bassmaster Classic champion. Anyone want to meet another Bassmaster Classic champion? I'm going to throw it over to my buddy and truly a legend in our sport, 8-time Bassmaster winner and former Classic champion, Davey Height. This is very disappointing. I'm sorry. All right, let's crank the music and bring him through. I'm not sure what's going on with the mic, but he is the only Canadian angler ever to win a tour-level event. He did that right here in the great state of Florida on the FLW Tour. This, his first ever Bassmaster Elite Series event. Rick, come on, let's get side by side. We're going to find out who wins this. A living legend or somebody who I honestly believe is a future legend. He needs 23 pounds, 2 ounces, 19 pounds, 5 ounces. Rick Clunn is your champion, but Rick, I'm going to give you a second. Just, Chris, it didn't work out, but I got to believe, I mean, your first Elite Series event and to be in this position, And to lose it to Rick Clunn, got to make the blow a little easier.
Yeah, to lose to someone that you watched growing up fishing for the past 20 years, just to be standing on the same stage as him, I'm privileged. And if you're going to see anyone win, I'd like to see Rick win. And he earned it. He deserves it. He put his time in, and I can't complain. Third place, my first stop on the Elite Series, my first year. And thank you, Palatka. This has been a treat. And hopefully we get a chance to come here soon. The fishing's unbelievable here, and the crowd's even better. So thank you.
I want to congratulate you on a great start here, and trust me, you're going to have your chance at a title soon enough. With that being said, win number 16 for the legendary Mr. Rick Clunn. Just under a century mark, and the ageless wonder gets it done. Rick Clunn. Let's make it official. We'll bring out Trip Weldon, our tournament director, to hand off the trophy for the 16th time. Rick Clunn gets it done. Proving once again, age is a number, and it's never the number on the scale. Rick, when you won here 3 years ago, I believe you were 69 years old, and you inspired an incredible group of people. And I remember people saying, why didn't Rick Clunn just retire right there? I mean, he won it right there. I mean, what a way to end. I'm going to show you why Rick Clunn didn't retire right there, because as you said, you still got some highlights.
Yeah, like I said back then, you don't necessarily have as many great moments, but again, I'll say it again. Never, ever accept that all your greatest moments are in the past, no matter what you're doing. And the only thing that would make this as good as last year was that my family's not here. But anyway, all the fishermen out here know what they sacrifice. And I want to thank Melissa, Sage, River, Brooke, Courtney. I'll see you soon.
Rick, real quickly, tell me about the fishing. You know, how did you put yourself in one of the biggest slugfests in the history of the sport?
It really was, it took, I think, 81 or 82 when I won it before, and almost have 100 pounds, and wasn't still sure I was going to win it. But I almost lost it the first day. I mismanaged my fish. I left them too soon. I didn't expect, because these fish really came in hard. We had a perfect storm with these fish, and I only had 17 something the first day, and I knew I'm going to have to step it up. And almost still, I had to catch 2 giants today, which I did. But basically, like most guys have said, I wasn't getting a lot of bites, but I knew they were moving in due to the weather. I caught a 10-pound on a Hail Mary, and that's really the bait. Even though I only caught 1 fish on it in the tournament, it's the bait that gave me confidence in the area I was fishing. I caught a 6 and a 10-something on it back to back. And I said, this is where I'm going to fish the tournament. During the tournament, I tried it. I caught my first fish on it, but I never caught another fish on it. Early in the tournament, they were out on the ends of the docks, and that's why I was catching them on the Hail Mary. But as the day and the week progressed, they moved on the bank. And so I had to go back behind the docks. I went to the spinnerbait and pitching and flipping an old gator tail looking worm that Bobby Ditto made here years and years ago. But anyway, I wasn't catching a lot until a day on the spinnerbait. I was throwing a Lucky Strike Trickster spinnerbait, 3/4 ounce, and in a shell cracker color. And but everyone that hit me would be 5+. And when the conditions got right, in the first 2 days, then I'd go to pitching that gator tail worm around, covered weeds, dollar pads, docks. And today, I had 3 big bites on the spinnerbait yesterday, and today when I saw what happened, I said, I'm staying with it. And I caught a 6
and then I caught one of those, that 914, and the other 9 missed the spinnerbait, and I threw back and caught in on a worm. So it was a good day. Probably one of my favorite baits to fish is that spinnerbait, and it's almost like a topwater. You see almost every one of them come up and try to take it away from you.
Rick, I told you before, and I tell you all the time, you're truly an inspiration to all of us, and truly one of the highlights of my career to share this stage with you. Let's hear it for Rick Clunn, ladies and gentlemen. Your 2019 Power Pool St. John's River champion, Rick Clunn. The Power Pole St. John's River Slam belongs to Ricky Clunn. Rick Clunn, the ageless wonder, once again gets it done in Palatka, Florida at the Bassmaster Elite presented by Power Pole. Big bass, big stage, and big dreams. And once again, Rick Clunn proves that dreams are ageless.